The greatest cause any man can serve is that divinely designed for him and intended to be his. It is the cause of mankind which operates within the divine design and bears man upward to the very threshold of divinity. Too often, religion is a quagmire into which the spirits of men sink and are lost. But it is the fault of men and not of religion. Each man has the religion he deserves and not necessarily the religion he needs. When it proves inadequate for his needs, he becomes disillusioned. He seeks to lay blame on the religion and not on himself. Religions which nourish weakness of character and ignorance in men have been destroyed by those same failings and are no more. But the religions are not more to blame than those who served them. If a man puts to sea in an unseaworthy boat, can he blame the craft if he be cast into the water? Still, man is never abandoned, and somewhere there is the religion he needs, though he may never find it because of spiritual indolence. The religious life is not one of ease and indolence, neither is it something to be undertaken half-heartedly. Too often, an old man who has wasted his life in worldly excesses and scorned religion suddenly becomes converted and seeks to imitate the religious life. He imagines he has become good because he performs acts having an outer appearance of goodness. However, he is no more than a hypocrite. The truth is that his abstinence from wrongdoing and conversion to the religious life are directly related to his declining bodily powers. Such men generally become so self-righteous that they readily forgive themselves for their past deeds, which, after a shallow repentance, are quickly and conveniently forgotten. They should read what is written in the sacred books and see how much more is required of them. No activity of man is so wrapped in ignorance, so inept and harmful as religious intolerance or prejudice in favour of one outward form of worship against another. All who worship are seeking the same destination, and each takes the road he thinks most suitable. Men are led by phantoms to fight for dimly revealed causes and end up consumed in the fiery pits of hatred. Why have they chosen one side rather than the other? Only because the particular religion they support is an accident of birth and upbringing. Man weaves his sorrows from the very materials given for his adornment and glorification. The marriages of humble people, unsanctified by a priest, are no less worthy than those of wealthy people of quality, whose religion sanctifies bonds of straw. Living in sin means living together without responsibility and for bodily satisfaction alone. Unholy wedlock means being bound fast in the bonds of matrimony without any prospect of advancement to the glory of true love. Wedlock and marriage are not alike, for a true marriage may exist without sanction by the laws of men or blessing of a priest, providing a love exists which can mature into true love. The chain that binds two souls together is forged in the spiritual realm, and no earthly power can ever break it. It is worn on earth like a gloriously wrought chain of weightless gold, but not one earthly marriage in 1,000 is ever blessed with it. True friendship is not given its proper value in times of prosperity, and fair weather friends grow wings when the winds of adversity blow. Through misfortune reveals the friend. It also discloses the enemy. When misfortune strikes, false friends scamper like rats and enemies gather like vultures. Study itself is not enough, for learning without application and practice is futile and leads towards wickedness. The man who studies the sacred books as a child and applies their teachings to his life is like one who works with metal when it is still hot. The man who leaves such study until old age is like one who works with metal when it is cold. The man who is diligent and careful in his studies, but not in his deeds or words, is a weak character who tends to hypocrisy. The man who learns but does not practice what he learns is like a man who labors at the sowing but does not reap the harvest. He is like a man who digs a well and never draws water. The man who is filled with learning and knows all the wisdom of the sacred books but fails to put it into practice is like a many-branched tree with no depth of root. The wind blows and it is laid low to quickly rot. The man with much learning and knowledge but no strength of character is like a frail pot filled with precious liquid. If roughly handled, it falls apart and the contents are lost.